everybody, welcome back. This is a follow-up to the Brewing Pumpkin Ale video that I did last time. It turned out great. It's been ready for about 3 weeks. As you can see, it's got a decent head on it. It actually has a little color to the head, and the color of the ale itself is a little pumpkin colored. If you remember, in the video that I shot last time where we're actually brewing it, it's 7 pounds of the pale malt 2-row, 2 pounds of the Munich malt, 8 ounces of caramel crystal 60, and 8 ounces of caramel crystal 80. And had a few people try it, they love it. Cheers. What I really like about this beer is that the pumpkin is subtle. I did some online research before I decided to brew this, and there were a lot of folks that were making their own pumpkin beer using the pumpkin pie spice, but then throwing in some miscellaneous things like cinnamon sticks and trying to remember what some of the other additives were, but there were quite a few. And then what they complained about later is that it was overwhelming. This is not overwhelming. This is very subtle, and I think you'll like it. It's not overpowering at all. In fact, the flavor of the pumpkin pie spice that's in here is kind of a back-ended flavor. When you first drink it, until you swallow, you're really not picking up on it. But, you know, you can smell it. And it is a delicious beer. It was surprisingly good. I was a little apprehensive of how this was going to turn out. But I would highly recommend that if you want to make a pumpkin beer and you want something that's subtle, not overpowering, this would be a great formula to use. And if you wanted something a little less subtle, you could probably go up to 3 teaspoons of the pumpkin pie spice, but I'm not sure I'd go any higher than that. This is probably a really good blend, so you get like a full-bodied beer with a really good mouthfeel, decent head, nice flavor, but it doesn't scream, this is pumpkin. I had made an apricot beer once that tasted like apricot, and it tasted too much like apricot, so that when you first had a drink of it, you thought, wow, that's pretty good. It's obviously apricot. By the time you got halfway through the beer, you were like, that's enough apricot. You won't feel that way if you brew this beer. It's as good as any kit beer out there in my estimation. And it's as good as any of the pumpkin beers that I've had at some of the microbreweries. So anyway, I wanted to let you know this is a good beer. If you're interested in brewing it, watch the previous video. I stepped through everything. I think you'll really like it. Next time when I come back, I thought we'd talk about measuring the gravity of beer and what you can do with that information, whether it's looking at your alcohol ABV, if it's trying to determine, you know, the caloric value or the carbohydrates of your beer, or how well your yeast actually performed during the fermentation process. So anyway, until then, I hope you guys have a great week. Cheers. This has been a Matty Boy presentation. Say bye-bye, Matty.
Bye-bye.